Hey, what's up? How's it going? This is my quick video that I've been wanting to make that is very stupid of me to admit, but I got into One Piece the wrong way. Now, you're probably thinking, what does it mean to get into One Piece the wrong way? It mostly means that I went into it the non intended route, meaning don't do what I did. But another reason why I wanted to make this video is because One Piece is about 1,100 chapters now, over 1,000 episodes, and people see that as like daunting and this and that. But if I tell you how I got into it and how long it took me, you can really realize that there's not a whole lot that could go wrong if you start from episode one and go from there. Because with me, it took me a lot longer because I was reading it out of order, watching it out of order. And if anything, I could give a recommendation at the end of the video, how to get started, this and that, which are all going to be terrible ideas anyways. But I just want to get my story out there, so I can show the people that it's never too late to get into One Piece. So, when did I first see One Piece? Probably when I was around 10 years old, actually. I'm not going to age myself, but I remember back when I was a little kid, there was a show called Fox Box. It was like the channels that you would get for free. It was Channel 11, and they would have their daily cartoons and shit. Everybody knows it's like, we had Channel 11, Channel 5, WB, Kids WB. They have the morning sock dude play Yu-Gi-Oh episodes, Looney Tunes, this and that. But every now and then, they would play like dubbed anime, like Sonic X or One Piece. And I remember thinking this to myself. When I first saw One Piece and I saw Luffy and I heard the announcer be like, "Oh, he's made of rubber, this and that," I thought it looked terrible. I remember being a little kid and saying in my mind, "Ew, that looks lame." Something like that, right? So after that, I didn't watch it. But a few years later, Toonami got it. And when Toonami got it, I was super into Toonami because I was watching every week. I was watching Dragon Ball Z. I was watching Pokemon. I was watching this and that. So when they got it, I just watched it and I really liked it. And I watched all the way to where they stopped dubbing, apparently, which was Alabasta, Crocodile. I remember watching all of it, at least everything that they dubbed for Kids TV, which is known for being, not the best, but low key, I liked for Kids TV. Low key, I liked for Kids TV because it was my first introduction to One Piece, and I really liked it. And I really like Sanji's voice. I don't care what people say. I really like that fucking drugged out Boston accent, if I can even call him that. That drugged out Percocet Bill Burr type of accent. I don't know. Anyways, after that, it went off air, and I was like, "What the flip? Why? Why did it go off air? Like, it's so good." I remember being bummed out, and I was like, "We're not showing One Piece anymore. Be back later for something else." I was like, "What?" It really tripped me out. Then fast forward a few years into the future, where I am super obsessed with Naruto. Naruto is my favorite anime of all time, and it is the anime that got me obsessed with the genre, with the medium. And for a while, I would watch YouTubers, like For Neverworld, Sawyer Seven Mage, King of Lightning, and they would always reference the big three. Now, people always confuse the big three with, the, because people want there to be a new big three every generation or so, right? But the big three was not just the three most popular shows at the time. It was an era in time in which they were popular, and they were serialized and weekly when they were coming out regularly in the same weeks and the same Shonen Jump, everything, right? It's not just the best three, and then you can name a new best three. No, it was a point in time. It was Bleach, Naruto, One Piece. I love Naruto. I watched some Bleach and I liked it. I'm not too crazy about it, but I like it. But I never watched One Piece after what I had watched previously. And so I just kind of left it alone. But then when I heard Naruto was ending and I needed that fix, I transferred over because that's what a lot of people did. We couldn't get enough of the weekly grind, so to speak, and we were entrenched in the whole medium, and we just needed more. We wanted weekly reviews. I remember being obsessed with reactions, this and that, and I just wanted more. And One Piece was more times two. I don't even remember how many episodes were out at the time, but I remember feeling like it was very daunting even back then. But eventually I got into it. How did I get into it? Well, here's how I picked it up, okay? So, after not watching for a long time, I asked myself as I was watching, as Naruto was ending, I was like, these shonen, they tend to progress and the characters seem to get stronger. I wonder how far Luffy has gotten and how stronger he has become. Because I remember being like, he's rubber. What's next? What's next? What's next? So I remember being like, all right, let me just go on YouTube and let me look up Luffy versus. It was Luffy versus whoever, right? I just typed it in, and then the first video that I watched was Luffy versus Bluno. And that shit blew my fucking mind because it was only like a 3-minute clip, cut out all the dialogue, and then you see Luffy start steaming up in this weird pose saying gear second. I remember being like, what the fuck is gear second? And even now, I still don't know what gear second truly is. I mean, I know it's blood doping, this and that. But I remember for a long time I didn't know. Okay, I'm stupid. I'm illiterate sometimes. Anyways, that shit blew my mind. I was like, oh shit, maybe I'll look up another one. But then the next fight I watched was Luffy versus Lucci. And it was like a super cut. And I remember I was obsessed with that fight. Mind you, I haven't caught up since Alabasta. I haven't watched since Alabasta. But I remember watching that fight like once a week for the next like 2 years. Like I was so obsessed, but I never wanted to watch the show because I knew it would be so long until I got to that part. I fucking love that fight so much. In the anime, when they supercut it, even the shitty animation where the quality drops and it's a little crazy looking, I love that shit. So, what did I do after that? I remember I graduated high school and I couldn't get classes the first semester. And so, to fill in that summer void, that 3-month gap, I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'll just watch One Piece nonstop. And that's how I caught up. And that's half the reason people have a problem getting into it now, because people don't have that kind of time, especially as an adult. Anyways, I spent 3 months catching up and getting to that Luffy versus Lucci fight. But here's the thing. I didn't start from episode 1. I didn't start from the very beginning. I started watching again after not watching for a long time at the Davy back fight. That's where I started watching. You know why? Because Toonami started airing One Piece sometime around that time. And I was like, okay, this is where I'll start. Because even they had interviews where they thought, yeah, if people want to get into One Piece, this is probably the best shot that they can get people to watch, or hooked at least, or interested. So I started watching at the Davy back fight. Now, in between that, or the time that I had got interested in watching One Piece, I would always look up clips on YouTube about scenes that I thought were important, or scenes that I thought that were cool. And to my head, I was like, I don't need to catch up to the rest. Like, I get it. I get it now. And then, but the thing is, like, the scenes that I was watching were from Marine Ford. So so before I even watched Davy back fight, I was watching clips of Marine Ford and I saw Ace, spoiler alert, I saw Ace get his fucking stomach ripped out. And I was like, oh, bro, I can't wait. Such a dumb decision on my part, but it made me want to watch it even more. So let's continue. So I started watching Davy back fight, and then I remember I would watch on Hulu because before Hulu used to be free online with ads, and they had all of One Piece, even to the current arc, which I believe was Fishman Island, and so I would keep watching all the way until I caught up, which was around Fishman Island and the beginning of Punk Hazard. But even in between all that, I remember I watched Strong World, and I remember being like, wow, this is really cool. Who the fuck are these guys? Who's the skeleton? So I remember just being like, I get it. I get it. I'll just keep watching because I enjoyed it. No matter what, I enjoyed it. But I didn't know what the fuck was going on. And at the time, you have to realize, like, I'm watching it out of enjoyment because I'm not, and I never intended to make content. I never aspired to be a YouTuber. So I just watched out of fun and I wanted to be a part of the conversation, much like most people want to be a part of the conversation now. And, you know, people are skipping Skypea and I'm like, don't do that. Part of the grind of One Piece is that it is a grind, but you don't have to grind. You can do what I did. Anyways, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm stupid. So I caught up to about the Punk Hazard area, right? And then that's when I started reading the manga. Now, mind you, I did not go back and rewatch Skypea, whatever was before that, all the way in between Alabasta and Davy Back. So I go from Davy Back to where I am now, and I didn't watch anything before that. So anything pre-time skip, even before pre-time skip, I just didn't watch it. I just didn't think I should. I was like, the animation's old and I just don't care. But, you know, as eventually, like a couple years after I caught up to One Piece, week to week on the manga, that's when I went back and I watched everything from episode 1 onward, which was so enjoyable because I was like, I missed out on a lot of good shit. I remember watching Bellamy get punched, and I was like, I can't believe I skipped this shit. Anyways, so the moral of the story is it's never too late to do what you love. I don't know. Just don't be stupid like me. I even told the story wrong because I didn't write it down. So, if I had to give any recommendations on getting into One Piece, here's what I would say. First, if you don't know if you're going to like the story, you have a few options. You could watch episode of East Blue, which is a compilation of the first saga. You can find it somewhere if you just pirate it. I don't know if I can just Google it. Or you could watch the One Piece live action, which is only about 8 episodes. And it's the first saga again. But, you know, it's in live action. It's a little more digestible. Everything's a little condensed, and it's pretty damn good from a One Piece fan's perspective. Me. And it has a lot of widespread praise from other fans as well. You can go that route. Or you could go the old-fashioned way, and if you like reading manga, just read all the way, you know, to Arlong Park and see if you like it. Or you can watch the anime all the way until Arlong Park. And I say till Arlong Park because Arlong Park is one of the best arcs in the entire series, and it embodies what it's going to be. And a million people have said that before, but start and get to Arlong Park and see how you like it. And that's how the live action is, I think. Yeah, it is. So there's that. Or now we have another option coming on. Studio Wit, aka Netflix, is going to remake One Piece, and I'm assuming it's going to be the first saga again. So you could wait sometime this year, or I don't even know if they announced it, but wait until that remake comes out, and then everything's super beautiful, Attack on Titan animation, and then you can watch that. Or you can be like me and just pick a spot and go from there. Anyways, that's my time. I am done with the video. Keep watching, like and subscribe. I don't know what to say. Please don't make fun of me. See ya.